What's up, drafters, and for those of you who are following the draft, this week we're on week 5. The actual draft is going to be on week 7, so I got a little bit of catching up to do. But this is going to be the match watch / review for week 5. And in week 5 we have Jayme all fire up versus Phil laid back here. So in terms of leads for these two, so we'll start with Jayme. I think Jayme has led Galvantula in most of his sets, so I feel like he's probably going to lead that here, but I think that actually is the best lead here. Yeah, because it deals with Sceptile, Empoleon, Buzzwole, in Power Ice on Gliscor if he has it, or he can just switch out. Outspeeds Rotom, if not Scarfed. And then with the Gengar, he would probably just need to set up webs or attack, because I'm assuming it'd be sashed. And for Phil here, I kind of think... if Gengar had Psychic, maybe this is a good lead for Gengar, but probably the safe lead is Gliscor. It can defog the webs away. It's going to be able to deal, survive Galvantula. It's going to be able to deal with Arcanine. It's going to be able to deal with Garchomp without in Power Ice. Yeah, but let's see what they go here. It's on slow. It leads Urshifu. See, the reason I don't like Urshifu here is, yeah, because the Rotom H, the Buzzwole, and the Sceptile. Not the Gliscor, but yeah, the Buzzwole, Rotom H, and the Sceptile here. And if Gengar had the Psychic. Those three deal with this Urshifu pretty well, especially if that's Rocky Helmet Buzzwole. But this Rotom H should be able to just Volt Switch away. Oh. It won't. It's faster. He might have to switch out. If it's Scarf, though, he just Volt Switches away. He switches out, so that's not a Scarf. Okay, Rocky Helmet Buzzwole, good. That was good prep by Phil. Yeah, he's gonna need it. 9. He teleport away here. Or just flamethrowers, that's fine. This is not a bad match. Oh, weird. That's weird. I don't really like that, but I guess he has the webs up, which is fine. But he has 3 forms of defog. We don't know which one is carrying defog yet. So now Jayme just needs to keep the pressure up. Hopefully he didn't Surging Sharks here. Bye-bye Urshifu. But getting rid of this Buzzwole is good. It allows Garchomp to freely move. It's probably going to roost. Yeah. Okay, this has got to be the defogger. Wow, Empoleon's so bulky. One thing I want to note here, this trade for Tornadus that Jayme made, I think was really good. I believe before this, Jayme didn't have any form of good defog besides Superior. This gives him a Prankster defogger, and it also gives him Defiant, which is going to help him with people trying to come in against Mimikyu. And just its speed tier is really great. Combine that with Prankster as well, he's just always going to be able to get defog off, which is really... Not to mention, Heavy Duty Boots has now been an item. I don't know why Tornadus isn't higher, so but yeah, no, this is good. Wow, 2 Focus Blasts in a row. He gets the defog off, which is fine, but losing the Empoleon there really hurts, especially because it can deal with Mimikyu, it can deal with Arcanine a bit here. Yeah, that was a rough one. I wonder if this is a vested Arcanine. He keeps bringing it in on Rotom Mage. Obviously because the Will-O-Wisp, but... Oh man, this Arcanine just... going crazy. Yes, Arcanine's doing a lot of work here. He needs to get rid of this Rotom though. This Rotom's a big problem, especially with Will-O-Wisp. Being able to deal with Mimikyu, Garchomp. Earthquake. Yeah, he needs to get rid of this Rotom so badly. Oh, that did so much damage. Okay, so is this a Scarf Gengar? He's gonna have a Shadow Sneak here. Yeah, that's Scarf Gengar. I don't know how he gets rid of this Buzzwole at this point, unless this has Flamethrower. I don't know how he gets rid of this Buzzwole. Oh. It's early in the morning for me. Yeah, this Mimikyu's just going crazy now. I don't think this is going to be able to... Oh, yeah, Aqua Jet. Nice. Oh, wow. Wow. That's what resisted, I think, though. I don't even think anything from this Sceptile is going to be able to KO Garchomp. Garchomp's just so bulky, especially Mega Garchomp. He probably just scale shots here. Wow, that was so close. Holy crap, this match was awesome. Man, if he only got 2 rolls on that, that's crazy, because that would have been game. What a wild match. That's Jeremy's closest match. So what's important to note about that is what I've been saying this whole entire time. Jayme doesn't get those webs up and the opponent is playing offensive against him. Jayme trying to scramble for that driver's seat position is what makes his games hard. So if opponents can do that against Jayme, that's what's going to help you win against him. Wow, I didn't know this match was that close. Hats off to Phil here. He almost took away a win from Jayme here and would have been Jeremy's first loss. So wow, really great match. But yeah, like I said, playing offensive against this team and making sure Jayme cannot get those webs up is how you play against Jayme. It's how you play against these hyper offensive teams. So he did a really good job. Not to mention this Rotom with Will-O-Wisp really invalidated a ton of his team, and especially once Arcanine went down, this Rotom was extremely dangerous. Yeah, very, very dangerous. For the second match here, we have Scotty, PKS Itchy Eyes versus Lucas, LP Styles. What's this? I can't remember if I helped Lucas a little bit with this one. I totally forget. Weeks ago. So for leads here, Scotty's been leading the Slurpuff when he has it most of the time. And in this match, I think the Slurpuff is a fine lead. That's only, like, I mean, the only thing that's going to deal with the Slurpuff is the Nidoking here or Dunk Shot Greninja. I just don't really see another lead that's really that much better. That he could afford to lose, really. I mean, he could just lead Charizard since he has Charizard Y. Greninja won't be able to do much. If he has Manectric though, it's gonna be able to blitz him. For Lucas, he has a ground type. I probably would just lead Greninja because it's gonna outspeed his whole team. It can Gunk Shot this Slurpuff. It can Hydro Pump or Scald the Golurk. It can U-turn on the Charizard or Hydro Pump Scald it. I would probably just U-turn because you won't be able to KO it in the sun. Yeah, he leads the Slurpuff, which I expected. That's fine. The only thing that I worry about, like, is, I remember this match. I remember helping Lucas with this match. Like, not during the match, but before. I said, make sure you don't invite Golurk in because Golurk literally just destroys your team. So this is why I don't really like this lead. Because if he goes for a Volt Switch here, and then Golurk comes in, on the Volt Switch, it comes in for free. So if we go to Calc here, I think it lives. Yeah, yeah, 100% lives. So HP Ice on Mega Manectric here does 50 to 60, and Banded Poltergeist or Earthquake. Well, Poltergeist actually won't hit it, but yeah, Earthquake is just gonna absolutely obliterate it. Yeah, that was my big thing when I was mentioning to Lucas, don't invite the Golurk in because it literally, you have nothing to deal with it. So, in this situation, Scotty should be switching into Golurk here, knowing how strong Golurk is against his team. Yeah, and he gets free 50%, so that was probably Belly Drum Slurpuff. I feel like he kind of wasted the Slurpuff here. He definitely didn't need to do that. Yeah, if he went Golurk, it just would have put Lucas in a really big pickle. Lucas would have had to have went Moltres. And then Scotty could, if it wasn't banded, Scotty could make the play to, rock slide the Moltres. We'll see. So he gets the Klefki in anyways. Klefki's obviously going to be here to set up probably screens. The Slurpuff we see use Belly Drum, so this is a big problem for Lucas since I don't know if he carries Flash Cannon on the Klefki, so this thing's gonna Drain Punch, and it's gonna hurt. Now it's also got the Unburden. Oh, okay, that's good. So he got the Para. And he gets a Reflect Up. So, okay, Reflect wasn't interesting that he had Facade on that. Cool. So Lucas manages to get rid of this Belly Drum Slurpuff fairly easy. He loses his Klefki for it, but I mean, Klefki, oh, it had Rocky Helmet. Yeah, I would have liked to have Lucas keep the Klefki for the Scizor and the Golurk here, especially with the Rocky Helmet and U-turning Jirachi. It would have been really, really good for it. But he gets rid of it and he gets screens up. So he gets himself into position that is good right now, but Charizard comes in. Lucas, probably knowing that he can't KO the Charizard in Sun, probably just U-turn away. That's right, the Hidden Power Rock. Nice. Nice. That was something we talked about. The Scotty would probably bring the Charizard Y in and force Lucas out with the Greninja, thinking that Greninja's not going to be able to KO, and Scotty could either get the KO with the Solar Beam or force Lucas to switch and get some damage. So we decided Hidden Power Rock was going to be able to deal with that. Fucking, it turned out well. He got rid of one of Scotty's biggest threats. So the last two threats he's got to get rid of here, in my opinion, is yes, Alakazam is a threat with, you know, Focus Sash, Magic Guard, Nasty Plot. But the biggest threats that we talked about was this Cosmic Power Jirachi and this Golurk. So he's got to figure out how to get rid of these two. If this Golurk doesn't have Rock Slide though, Moltres just eats it alive. So yeah, Moltres just deals with the physical Jirachi and the Scizor here pretty easily. But yeah, it's going to be what this Golurk is. Gets a crit. That kind of sucks. Wow. Holy shit, that hit hard. Holy fudge. That couldn't have been max defense Moltres. Yeah, so there's no reflect. Wow, that 93%. So this is what I'm referring to. If he didn't get that crit, this would have been a huge problem for Lucas, especially with the sun up. He wouldn't have been able to KO with Greninja, probably. And if he didn't have Ice Beam, I don't know if he'd KO with Nidoking. But yeah, he gets rid of the Moltres here, which is really, really good for Scotty here. This opens up avenues for the Scizor. And the Jirachi to either, if they have U-turn, obviously we see the Scizor has U-turn, but we don't know what the Jirachi is yet. But yeah, this just opens up if it's physical Jirachi, and this opens up Scizor to be a little bit more offensive than just momentum gainer. So this must have Ice Beam, yeah. So now, I don't think Lucas runs Scarf on his Nidoking, so this should be a free Nasty Plot here for the Alakazam, but we'll see. We could just go straight for Psychic. I don't know. In Scotty's position here, I probably would have went Nasty Plot, or just went for a different option like Dazzling Gleam or something, or Shadow Ball. I don't know, something different, knowing he has a Dark type. Yeah, so if he went Nasty Plot there, he would have been able to get rid of the Greninja and then force the Manectric to come in, and then that would allow Jirachi. So, okay, yeah, so if he went Nasty Plot there, he would have been able to get rid of the Greninja, and then he would have just been able to Cosmic Power, Stored Power with his Jirachi, which I'm assuming is what it is because he's been holding it in the back for so long now. Yeah, so if he had Nasty Plot there, I definitely would have Nasty Plotted there. Just if you'd watch all of Lucas's games, you would know that he doesn't really Scarf his Nidoking. So I don't know if Scotty knew that, but let's see. This is gonna hurt. U-turn. I would just U-turn there. Yeah, because now he wasted him on. Now he's going to have to go for Broke, and he's not going to be able to do it since there's a Dark type. We'll see what this Mew is too. Yeah. Right. Lucas fully prepared for this match. Really, really well prepped. So, Scotty, I remember looking through his matches, he had a habit of, it was similar to Hasin. Has a really great team and a really great team to be diverse with, but has fallen into a habit of bringing very, very similar options. This Jirachi's been brought like 3 or 4 times now already. Lucas having, I believe, 1, 2, I think he has 3 triggers here. Oops. He only has 2. So having two switcheroos or tricks, Scotty should have recognized that and probably just built a different Jirachi, you know, just so that it's not just dead weight at the end here. Because I mean, he has a Dark type now. He's been tricked. It's just this is a really uphill battle now, and he's tricked into Cosmic Power, so he's gonna have to switch. just fully prepped. Yeah. Excellent win for Lucas here. Excellent prep. And you know, by no means like does it like make Scotty bad or anything like that. Just something that I would recommend is having a team like yours being so diverse in movesets. You could absolutely switch up these roles a bit more. You know, Charizard Y does have access to Dragon Dance. You know, switch things up like that. Mix up your opponents, especially in these later parts of the draft. You don't want to fall out of playoff contention this late, right? Because you know people are going to start watching replays. At least that's what they should be doing if they want to win. And they would recognize things that Lucas was able to recognize here. Jirachi being always Cosmic Power, Stored Power. Charizard potentially coming in on the Greninja, going Hidden Power Rock. And then always leading the Slurpuff with Sticky Webs. Just, yeah, overall, this was a match of good prep. And, yeah, Lucas took away the win. For match 3, we have John, RK Bro, and PKS Blaze, Jace. So Jace has yet to be defeated as well. Jayme, the other person who is undefeated. I believe this is the second match with John's revision team that I helped him get some trades in that would just help synergize his team a little bit more. So I'm hoping that he can kind of put together some good movesets here, and because his team is really good actually, and the synergy is really good between it. So we'll see what happens. I think just Rotom Watch is the good lead here. It can Volt Switch. It can eat up a Thunderbolt Volt Switch from Zapdos. It can Will-O-Wisp on the Swampert. It can Volt Switch on the Pelipper. It can just Volt Switch on the other three. Goodra obviously eating it alive, but it can Volt Switch away into a option that's more suitable, namely like Sylveon or something like that. Zapdos comes in. I think that's like a I think that's like Jace's primary lead is Zapdos. I think even in like his tournament matches when he plays with Zapdos, he leads Zapdos. So so Rotom coming out here, which is a good lead. John's picking up on his team a little bit more. I wish he had more time with this team in the beginning, because we would have seen a really honed in team. But yeah, so he sets up the screens here, which is really crazy considering the setup he has on his team. So this is really cool. Jace will probably just Volt Switch out here. Yeah. There's a ton of damage, offensive Zapdos, he seems to like. Wow, Rotom did a ton of damage, offensive Rotom. Oh, he needs a high roll. Crit. So at this point, he's wasting Hydro Pumps for sure. At this point, I probably would have just Volt Switched out and not waste your Reflex, or set up Light Screen. Yeah, so now he's wasted a turn, gave the Clefable full health. Gets the Para, which is really nice on the Clefable, but he should just Volt Switch out. The reason that I think he should have Volt Switched out is because this Rotom is able to deal with Pelipper. I don't know what the movesets are, but it's also able to potentially deal with Kartana depending on the set. Sylveon comes in. So if this is hype... If that was Hyper Voice, Pixelate, that should have OHKO'd the Pelipper. No, not even close. Is that special? Wow, not even close. That did a ton of damage to Pelipper though. It should have. 52 to 61, and Pelipper is like detriment to Jace's team, so Frustration, a little bit weird. I understand it gets pixelate boost, but in this match and in John's case, I just definitely think building consistent builds and normal builds would probably be the easiest for him to scoop up some wins. Yeah, it does nothing to defensive Pelipper. Pelipper just U-turns away. Gudra comes out. Oh, gets the freeze. You're just so fucking bulky though, holy shit. Unfortunately, that gets the freeze. That's an awesome, a really cool set. Weakness policy Gudra. Unfortunately, gets a freeze. Unthaws, which is very lucky. Like lucky in a good way, like not like, oh my god, Jace is lucky. No, that's usually freezes last like fucking forever, so that's good that he got to keep the Gudra. So Sylveon comes out, has unfortunate that it has 3 fairy moves. I definitely think just Moonblast or Hyper Voice would have sufficed, and then you could have ran like Toxic or something like that. Wish, Protect, things like that. But yeah, it does a good amount of damage to the Pelipper here. He should Moonblast, and this should kill a Pelipper. Or very close. Yeah. Swampert comes out, definitely gonna scoop up a kill here. If he just Photon Geysered. This might have put it close to Bullet Punch range. Because he's got 2 Bullet Punchers here. But yeah, scoops up another kill. Jace is just doing what Rain does. I mean, it looks for a gap and a time for the time when the opponent makes a mistake, and you can U-turn in, you can get that Swampert in, scoop up kills, rinse and repeat the strategy. And nobody's been able to figure out and or break this Rain. So he's doing a very, very good job of utilizing the Rain and putting the opponent in a position to make a mistake so that he can get Swampert in for free. Yeah, just at this point, Swampert is just like, I mean, it's got Ice Punch, it's gonna have Earthquake, it's not gonna be KO'd by either of these guys, so he can afford to stay in. The only thing is if he wants to keep Swampert's differential, you could swap around. But he just Ice Punches here, it'll kill. Yeah. So this might be the only part where I would maybe switch to like Zapdos and just like make sure that you secure your differential here. Unless he's calced. Yeah. So, yeah, classic win for Jace here. Much better by John though. I think having a team that just like synergized a little bit better than like 5 steel types really has helped him. John, if you want any help team building, please feel free to ask. Don't hesitate. I will for sure help you as much as I can if you want it. I will reach out too if you're not watching these videos. I will reach out and see if you want some help, and I hope you're having a good time. Yeah, so great win by Jace here. Jace is doing what he's been doing all season, just pounding that Rain team right through the draft list. So, but match 4, we have Jarrod versus Hasin. So this was a match where Jarrod and I talked about a lot. He made some trades before this that I think would help his team a lot more. And this is a part in Jarrod's what do you call it? His draft where he's got to start winning if he wants to have any shot in the playoffs. We're like kind of at the halfway point, and he's got to secure some wins. So it's very important that he preps well. And he makes his team a little bit more diverse than what it might look like. So, as for leads here, I think the thing that we talked about was like You just lead Tauros. I mean, just body slam everything, really. It outspeeds his entire team besides Zeraora and Lucha. And it hits everything extremely hard, so... Not to mention, you have Dustmar now, so if it comes to the point where he leads Hawlucha, which is really weird, I wouldn't think he would lead Hawlucha, especially since he's got Indeedee. He's definitely looking for this to be a cleanup. You lead Tauros. If he led Hawlucha, and he's going to go for a fighting move, you just switch into Dustmar. Same thing with Mudsdale. If you're thinking he's going to go for body press, we just go into Dustmar. Pretty easy switching. So the other thing too is you can just go into Swampert and flip turn. He's got nothing here that's going to deal a grass move to deal with it. So I think Swampert or Tauros was the option. So as for Hasin here, if Zeraora's got Grass Knot, I think Zeraora would be a good lead. Depending on the calc, on how much it would do to Swampert, it probably wouldn't kill. I don't know who I'd like on the lead here. I don't really like it. This is really tough for him to pick a lead here. Like, if he leads wrong, like, you know, it's a really, really tough game for him to pedal back to. I guess probably just Mudsdale is the right lead. It's going to be able to survive whatever Swampert does, probably set up rocks. It's going to be able to survive Tauros and or pressure it out, so probably just Mudsdale. The thing is I don't think he would want to lose Mudsdale. That's my only issue. It's because Mudsdale is going to be able to deal with Aerodactyl, physical Dragonite. It can live a couple things from Tauros, and it's going to be able to live a little bit from physical Dustmar as well. So leaves Mudsdale, which is fine. I think this was the thing that I mentioned in these matches, is that Sin has been leading Mudsdale every single match. That is something that, especially going late into the draft, needs to be switched up. Otherwise, it could be picked up on really easily. For example, if this was a bulk up Swampert or something like that, I mean, you have Unaware Pyukumuku, I understand that, but like, that would have forced Pyukumuku out right away. You could have gotten somebody like Tauros and just body slammed. Yeah. Or went into Volcarona. I don't know. Just when you get complacent in those leads, I feel like it makes it easier for the opponent to figure out what to do from the beginning of the match if they know that they know who you're gonna lead from the get-go. So Jarrod leads Swampert, which is fine. Probably gets up rocks or flip turns here, but we'll see what he does. Got rocks. They just trade rocks. So an interesting thing to note is both of them don't really run defog. So this was a really funny part of the match for me. They both just like, yeah, we're gonna set rocks. Yeah, we both don't like rocks, but we'll both set them up. Whoever can outlive these rocks. So he gets the Toxics. This is really great. Toxic being on this is going to be able to deal with the Pyukumuku. It'll also help deal with the Mudsdale because Mudsdale is pretty bulky in the physical and special defensive side. So I see that Mudsdale has Toxic as well. They're just trading sets here. But the Toxic is also important for the Charizard since Swampert. Yes, it can Earthquake, but if Hasin decides to not. Which decides to not Mega, he can just Toxic. So they just straight Toxics. They're both just gonna beat each other to death now. So that was a little bit of a weird switch to me. I understand he probably was trying to preserve the Mudsdale, but like if Swampert stayed out and just went for like Earthquake, whatever his fourth slot is, and this Pyukumuku came in, he just goes to Toxic again. Either gets the Toxic on Pyukumuku or gets Mudsdale back in, and then gets Toxic and Stealth Rock Chip. So it's kind of... But Jarrod gets a free switch now, so he got the flip turn, which is good. Probably go into Tauros or Volcarona. I think the calc with Tauros was like, it just absolutely smashes this Pyukumuku with Body Slam, so... Right. So, we had Dustmar here. Dustamar, I believe, had the trick. So the trick was for it was for Pyukumuku and one other one. Yeah, Pyukumuku, Konfei, and Celesteela. The reason being is because those Mons definitely want to use all their moves in their move kit. Them being locked down. So Pyukumuku obviously being locked down to one move is just terrible for it. Konfei really likes... He's been wanting to set up Konfei in most of his matches with Calm Mind and Sword Power. So tricking a choice item onto it would lock it. And same with the Celesteela, it would force it into either attacking or setting up Bleach Seed, or locking it into Autotomize or something like that. So very interesting. Hasin, I guess, feared the banded Poltergeist. I don't know what that... I don't think it would actually do very much to Pyukumuku. Yeah, only 31 and 37, so the only thing I could think is he wasn't defensive. Even then, it's a 3-hit KO. Or it would have been 2-hit KO because he got the rock chip. So I guess he was fearing the banded Poltergeist. But yeah, he switches out, goes into the Indeedee, which is fine because Indeedee's going to be able to immune it with that normal type as a secondary. Yeah, so Jarrod goes for the trick here. Now he tricks the band onto Indeedee and takes a Scarf. Now, this didn't work out the way that we had talked about it or the way that Jarrod wanted it to go. Getting the trick onto the Pyukumuku, but he still gets a choice item, so he can still use trick. This allows Dustamar to outspeed some options here. Also, taking the Scarf off the Indeedee here is very, very important because it's going to allow I think Aerodactyl. What is there? 438, right? 317 times 1.5. Yeah, so Indeedee with the choice Scarf was 475, and Mega Aerodactyl was 438. So that Indeedee was scarfed, and it would have been able to outspeed the Mega Aerodactyl. It would also outspeed the Tauros. So this is very, very important that he took the Scarf. This worked out actually very well. In some cases better, because now Tauros just goes crazy, and so does Mega Aerodactyl. This really, really hurt Hasin here. He was probably like, fuck me. That probably sucks. But yeah, so I think, what did we do here? So he goes into Swampert, Expanding Force. Wow, that just ate it for dinner. So now he's locked into Expanding Force. What does he go to from here? I think he lives another Expanding Force. Oh, wow. I got a higher roll. He should have lived another one, got a flip turn. But anyways, he gets in a free switch. Tauros comes out. And see, this is the thing that I was talking about. He took the Scarf away. Now Tauros can come in, and this for sure one-shots Indeedee. Life Orb Body Slam is just gonna go crazy on this. Yep. So he was forced to sack Indeedee or sack something else, which is really good. So now he gets in Mudsdale. Mudsdale should be able to survive 2 of these, especially with the defense boost, but having that Toxic is going to allow this Tauros, I believe, to 2-hit KO it. Not to mention, Hasin's on a timer now because the terrain and the Hawlucha, I'm assuming, is an unburdened Hawlucha, so we'll see. Oh, fuck. This does so much damage. So he should just be going, he has easy 2-hit KO. I remember watching this match right after. I was, Jarrod, why the hell would you Rock Slide there? Even if it's Charizard, Body Slam still hurts it. And it's still a 2-hit KO. There's no reason to Rock Slide. No reason at all. Body slam, 100%. He has no ghost type. He has no steel type. You just body slam. So now Taurus is going to take some unwanted damage. Yeah. He's lucky that wasn't body press or earthquake. At that point, with Mudsdale at 22%, I probably just would have sacked it, and then brought Pyukumuku out for free, or the Zure Aura in for free to force the Tauros out. So I'm imagining Hasin was just a little bit what do you call it? Frazzled, I guess, with this Tauros doing so much damage. So the Pyukumuku comes out on a switch. It's gonna take a huge body slam. The amount of damage it did made me feel that this was not a physically defensive Pyukumuku. It's maybe for the Volcarona here. So Taurus is able to clean up another kill. Zure Aura comes out now. This should force the Tauros out. Probably just go into Dusknoir or something like that. Keep this Tauros because it outspeeds the Charizard. Yeah. I mean, you could sack it too, and you could just go into something like the Volcarona or something like that, but we'll see what they do here. He goes for a Plasma Fist. Dusknoir comes out for free. Frisk, very important. He goes for the taunt here. I'm assuming he was expecting like a Will-O-Wisp or something like that. But if Hasin noticed, he was choice locked, so he probably wouldn't have went for Wisp, considering there's a Charizard on the field here. Goes for Earthquake. So, not quite sure why the switch on the Dusknoir there. He could have preserved some differential there, and just Hasin was giving him Zure Aura for free, and now he's gonna lose Dusknoir as well. Yeah, very strange. Dragonite, you set up for sure. Special Dragonite. So Hasin going for broke here. Dracomir is just gonna clean it up. Hawlucha coming out here with no Unburden, unfortunately, but we'll see when he does. Swords Dance going for broke. Yeah, just this special Dragonite being able to cover so much of the team here. Man, that is a bulky Hawlucha. How is that surviving? That's 2 Thunderbolts. Jesus. Yeah. And just Mega Aerodactyl speed here, able to clean up this Hawlucha, and probably going to be able to clean up this Mudsdale, especially with the Toxic and the Stealth Rocket Chip. So I think if Hasin wasn't in a position to give up Indeedee so early, that Unburdened Hawlucha would have done a lot of work. Just a couple missed predictions on Hasin's part here. Also on Jarrod's part here, that Rock Slide just... I know why that is because I don't think he calcs. And he was probably just figuring that Rock Slide would do more. I don't know. Body Slam was just hitting everything so hard. I would have just been clicking bodies. I would have been fiending for Body Slam. But yeah, just a couple of mispredictions on Hasin's part here, and a little bit of predictability in the team builds. I think if he, uses his team's versatility, I think he could make a really, really strong team that's extremely hard to predict. So Jarrod here able to gather a win and save his playoff hopes. And yeah, moving on, we have Norman's last game. Yag Synagogues and Shoghi Showtime 303. Now I say Norman's last game because Norman, I believe, quit the draft after this match. Who's now replaced by Christian. So I'm not going to go too hard on this match on Norman's side, but on Shoghi's side, Landorus is just always a lead. Probably lead the Silvally. See what Norman's leading here. Yeah, Landorus. Everybody leads Landorus. Thunderous is fine too. I just don't like the Stone Edge. Scarf Stone Edge. But Hidden Power Ice probably KO. Yeah. So he doesn't get the thick fat yet. Ooh, knocks off. Ow. Steel Beam, that's kind of cool. Gets rid of the Mega Venusaur, which is a big annoyance. A big annoyance for his team. It would have been annoying for Dracozolt, Hippo, and Thunderous to some extent. This Landorus must have had no speed EVs. Yeah, no speed EVs. So he Steel Beams. He basically suicides his Heatran to get all this chip on the Landorus, which is really important because Landorus is able to deal with the Dracozolt, the Hippowdon, the Gallade. So the damage on that the Landorus is good. It's Volley Flying. Okay. It's a Volley Flying to deal with Rillaboom and the Venusaur. Ooh, that does nothing. So he gets rid of the Landorus here. He Ice Beams. He Ice Beams and then he sends in Rillaboom? On a flying type? Yeah, Norman's given up here. Yeah, he's just giving up. Unfortunate, because I think Norman has a good team. Shoghi coming prepared though. Lots of Ice Beam, which is good. Ice Beam, Ice Beam, Ice Beam. Hits three of his mons. Brings in Hippowdon, set up the sand. Trying to waste away that grass. This terrain. Now, I don't know, like, Shoghi should have just kept attacking. In my opinion, Ice Beaming. He probably figured that Norman might switch at some point, but yeah, Norman's basically kamikazing right now. He's giving up, in my opinion. It should be pretty easy cleanup for the Zolt here. Oh, Sash Hoopa. Trick Room. So he goes Trick Room, and then goes into Gardevoir. Why not just go into Azumarill and play rough everything? If he had Trick Room, yeah, he has Trick Room on that. Dude, this was crazy, man. Like, it's unfortunate Norman's the guy that he is, because he has a really, really small team, but he has made these really, really crazy wild sets. Like this one's just crazy, right? If he had Trick Roomed on that last one instead of Moonblasting, he wins. He just play roughs or liquidations. Good game by Shoghi though. I mean, he came prepared with the Hidden Power Ice, the Ice Beam. The Steel Beam was a really neat tech. It allowed him to deal with this Landorus. That could have been a lot of problems for this Dracozolt running just clicking Bolt Beak. Yeah, unfortunate that Norman is, doing what he does, but yeah, good win by Shoghi. He's made his mark in the top of the standings here. He's He's close to keeping a playoff spot. We'll see how he goes in the rest of the draft. He's doing really well. He's using sand. There's a lot of weather in this draft. There's sun, there's sand, and there's rain. So all three of them, I believe, are performing really well. Next we have Richard Flames 987765, which is Richard, and then we have Blade Trainer Willie. Now, for Richard here, I think he just leads Zoroark. Zoroark has Flamethrower, Psychic, and Dark Pulse. I think it just goes kind of wild on his team here, barring doesn't go too crazy on this Inteleon and this Sandaconda. I think Blade just leads Sandaconda, sets up rocks, since he's got flying type. I mean, he could ult to lead Inteleon, see what Richard leads, and goes for the U-turn, but Mespri is a fine lead too, since Mespri can manage all of the team as well, and survive basically anything. The only mon that it might not be able to KO is this Dracloak here, depending what this Mespri has, but with Eviolite it probably would. Blade setting up his patented toxic spikes that he's brought every single match. Took out the Duraludon. Yeah, Duraludon wasn't that good this match. I believe it did outspeed the, yeah, it just barely outsped the Altaria. So the stab flash cannon would have been nice. We'll see. So Trick Room Slowbro, Shell Sidearm, such an annoying move. A Trick Room plus Quick Draw. Oh, I think Quick Draw would make it go second. He's trying to get this rid of this Mantine here. Yeah, so he's forcing him into... Oh. I thought we were going to see a pursuit there, but knockoff is probably fine. Yep. Knocks off the Rocky Helmet, which is good. This is going to allow Mega Altaria to be free, and the Electros to U-turn. Holy shit. You know, I always thought Zoroark was an interesting Pokemon that I'm surprised never like flourished in meta, because it's pretty annoying. Like, if you're not making it obvious that it's Zoroark, you can really catch your opponent off guard and scoop up a KO, do a lot of chip damage, set up. So, like right there, he gets rid of the Sandaconda, which the Sandaconda thought was Mantine. If the Sandaconda seen that it was Zoroark, he probably just would have switched right into, you know, like the box specs, because he needs the Sandaconda, in my opinion. Gets rid of the Sandaconda. This is really good for Richard. Blade going for those toxic spikes again. He's got 2 flying types, Blade. You don't need them that much. You got 4 that aren't going to be affected by toxic spikes. Come on. He goes for the nasty plot. This is going to KO the Inteleon for sure. Yeah. Dark Pulse. Dark Pulse again. Unfortunate that the pairs aren't hitting Richard for Blade. But yeah, Blade's just going to be able to clean up with the Zoroark for sure. Oh, shit. Oh, that was sashed. Okay. Wow, Zora did a lot of work there, though. Oh, with 1.5 attack, this EQ should probably kill the Tox Specs. Really great win by Richard there. Really good win for him. He needed this victory. Gave him a 5-0, which is good. It kept him in the talks for playoffs, which is great. Obviously, we're only halfway through, so there's lots of time for him to make his way into it. But it made sure that the path wasn't extremely hard for him to get back into the playoff contention. So, really great win there. I'm really glad I got to see Zoroark. I think this is a Pokemon that's good in draft. Scooping up those KOs that you generally wouldn't be able to get sometimes, like, you know, if the Sandaconda was, you know, that much more important, him getting that KO was very, very good. So being able to get KOs like that, I think, in matches are really, really good. So, yeah, I hope to see Richard keep getting these wins, though. I think he's been bringing phenomenal teams. He's just barely not able to get these wins out. Yeah, so Blade doing much. He's improved so much, though. He's doing the only thing I would say to Blade about this match is those toxic spikes. The only mons the toxic spikes are hitting in this match is Crocodile and Zoroark, so I probably just would have been going for damage over anything. I don't know what your other two moves were, but I probably would just be hitting Scald. Obviously the Mantine is there with Water Absorb, but like, just, the toxic spikes aren't hitting anybody, so but yeah. Moving on to the next match, we have Zandora, which is Steven, and Electric Ratman, which is Matt. So remember, I think I can't remember if Matt and I talked about this match. This match has Jarrod lead all over it, in my opinion. You know, super effective, super effective, super effective, super effective, super effective, not super effective. So he could also just opt to lead the Lantern and just Volt Switch. But from Matt, he's been leading Arachnid whenever he has it. I would probably suggest switching that up. Otherwise, people are going to pick up on it, like Steven is able to here. In this match, I probably would have led Gourgeist. Gourgeist is really good in this match. The only one that it's not doing good against is Jarrod. So I guess that could put you in a little bit of a dicey situation if you went Gourgeist, but I mean, you just go into Diancie. Diancie will eat up a Darkest Lariat, no problem. And then, it would Mega and then outspeed the Jarrod and potentially KO the Jarrod with Moonblast. Rockwanid. You can set up webs, Thunderbolt. So I think this was a this was a max special attack. Yeah, probably the Assault Vest set. Not 100% sure though. Oh, but that did a ton of damage to your Arachnid. He gets up the webs, which is really good. Webs are going to affect everybody on this team. The webs are also going to allow the Gourgeist to outspeed these Pokemon. It's going to allow Delphox to... Delphox outspeeds anyways. It's basically securing his speeds here. And not to mention, I don't think... He doesn't have any form of Oh, he has Rapid Spin on yeah. So I imagine we'll see Hitmonchan come out very soon here. I probably would have went into Lantern at that point, since you can keep a Rockwood Nid is decent to keep around. I would have been able to survive probably one attack from the Lele at the health it was at. The Gourgeist also would have forced him to bring in Jarrod and not Hitmonchan, because Hitmonchan now just gets a free Rapid Spin and a KO. Yeah. So at that, oh, it was banded. Wait, no, it wasn't. I would have just went for liquidation there. It's Water Bubble. That would have done a huge amount of damage to the Hitmonchan. Because right now, Hitmonchan's kind of an annoyance for Politoed and Delphox. Yes, I know Delphox is Psychic, but if you've heard me explain how bulky Hitmonchan is, trust me, it's still an annoyance. Not to mention, it maybe would have got the KO on Hitmonchan. I don't know. Yeah, because I don't know the EVs that a Rockwood had, but if it did get the KO, that means Webs would have stayed up, and it would have allowed, you know, basically Matt to just click attack buttons and not have to worry about speed tiers, right? This is gonna hurt. Yeah, this has to be a solid best. Has to be. So Steven just playing around his core components right now, the Lantern and the Suicune, just trying to get rid of this Politoed. Doesn't know if it's scarfed, or obviously not scarfed. I mean, switch. I probably just would have went Zuru, got rid of the Politoed right away. But yeah, he gets Gourgeist out for free on the Suicune on a Misprotect. Gets a Power Whip, kills the Suicune, which is really, really, really good for this Barraskewda. That's one less thing that Barraskewda has to worry about on clicking Flip Turn. Now he just needs to get rid of this Lantern, because this Lantern is really holding this Barraskewda back. So Jarrod comes in. He probably needs to go into Diancie here. Jarrod just really, really stomps the rest of this team here. Yeah, getting Rain up, I mean, that's okay, but I probably just would have went straight and now he's probably gonna have to sack Barraskewda. Yeah. Mega Diancie. Not sure about that play. I probably would just, at that point that you were at, I probably would have just, yep, Poison Jabbed. Went into Diancie and pray that the Moonblast gets the KO. And then you would have saved yourself Delphox, which would have been good for the Hitmonchan. Would have outsped the Garchomp as well. Yeah, see, it forced him to switch out. I think he should have done that from the beginning. Like if we go back here, yeah. So if we go back here, the Politoed dies. I would have sent out Diancie right away. Yeah, Moonblast KOs. So unless Steven had some, you know, HP or special defense EVs, he would have forced Jarrod to switch out, and he would have been able to get some good chip on whatever was incoming. Anything. He would have been able to get the KO maybe on Hitmonchan, KO on Lantern, or the 2-hit KO on Lele. He could have potentially won off of that. Instead of going Barraskewda here, he could have potentially won if he just went Mega Diancie. So this is what I'm referring to, Matt. Like when we're talking about your team and trades and stuff like that, I don't think your team really needs trades. It just comes down to these very technical decisions that just take your time. Just take your time on thinking about the play. I mean, when I play in the draft, in the group that I play draft in, I mean, some of these guys take like 1-2 minute turns. I know that sounds annoying, but like I do the same too, and it's because you're thinking about all these different plays. Obviously, it gets sped up as you get better with it. You know, it goes down to like 20 seconds or something like that. But it's like chess. You think about these plays way ahead, right? And that's why sometimes taking these turns take longer. So, for example, like if you had put in Mega Dance there, you could have potentially won. He didn't have anything to outspeed the rest of your team there, unless this was like Scarf Guard Chomp with, you know, Earthquake that was gonna one-hit KO the Diancie, right? Yeah, dang, this close on just like 3 of your games, man. You're like this close to getting these wins. Trust me, you're so close, man. So he wastes the Delphox here, forces out the Jarrod, which is what he should have done from the beginning. He's gonna be able to. Oh, he's going for the psych up on the Jarrod there, but so okay, yeah, that's another thing. Okay, you went for the psych up on the Jarrod, okay, but like. So you have +1 defense. Power Whip is still doing 105 to 125. These are the things that you gotta do. You gotta calc. If you want these wins, it's the only person that I've ever seen do really well in draft with doing no calcs at all and playing on their phone is Chris Niebla. That's the only person that I actually know that just like never, for like his first draft career, like first couple years, he literally just played on his phone and didn't calc anything. It's kind of like Lucas. I don't think Lucas does that either. But I really feel like when you calc and you just take your time, this gives you it gives you an edge. It gives you an advantage because you can see what type of plays you need to make. Obviously, I'm not saying like take 10 minutes to make your play, but like, you know, for example, if Steven decided he was going to get rid of Jarrod there and just power whip you, the game's over right there. Check out your stuff. Like Moonblast would have for sure KO'd a Jarrod at half health. You just need to KO. He didn't have anything to outspeed, so just going Moonblaster would have been the best play. Yeah. So now Jarrod's in, Diancie's in. He gets the ×2 defense, which is really freaking awesome. He could win off of this. Unless this is Hidden Power Steal, he could win. Oh my... What? What? Why? I didn't see this match. Matt, you're so close. You would have had such an awesome win there. All you had to do was click Diamond Storm or Moonblast. That's it. Right in the heart, man. You were so close. Damn. No more physical Diancie. No more. Do that in playoffs. Not you. All you need to do is click Moonblaster. I hurt for you. Great win by Steven though. Steven doing what his team does. He just has such a phenomenal core between this Jarrod, Suicune, and Lantern, and just Lele absolutely blasting with Psychic there. Holy cow. Steven's slowly creeping up on the standings here. He's definitely gonna, he's creeping into that playoff contention. So definitely a threat to watch out for. Yeah, I hope to see Steven continuing his run to the playoffs here because Steven came in late, so I really appreciate him doing that. He also took 1 win on his record before he came in, so really appreciate you showing up and bringing the fight to everybody. On to the last match though, we have Jayme. Sorry, I was drawing a blank there. Jayme, Ginger. I was going between Jayme and Richard. I don't know why. Ginger Gaming 17. And then we have Siraj Dam. So for leads, I don't know who you lead here. Maybe Florges? Maybe Lycanroc? This Grimmsnarl just really sucks for Jayme to try and lead against. I mean, he could opt to lead Ditto knowing Grimmsnarl or Coco could lead and then just full switch Thunderbolt out. That'd be kind of a neat lead. And if it's Grimmsnarl, you could just set up, screen, or you could Spirit Break. I think Ditto's actually a decent lead here. Low Punny's fine too, though. The only reason I don't like the Low Punny lead is because if Grimmsnarl had T-Wave, actually that might have been okay, because if he had Limber on the Low Punny and just stayed Low Punny and U-turned, that would have been fine. But anyways, he obviously Low Punny, which is fine. He can just U-turn out here, since he's not going to be able to KO the Floatzel with Return or something like that. It's the easy Slowbro switch as well, and then Slowbro can teleport into something like Kyurem. Siraj leads Floatzel here. Now, I probably just would have led the Coco, since Low Punny's not going to KO it. The Kyurem's not going to outspeed it unless it has Scarf. And he gets off a really hard Thunderbolt. Since Jayme has no ground types, Coco was 100% the lead here. Maybe even Mega Ampharos and just Volt Switch, since it hits really hard as well. But the Coco would be my go-to lead here. Oh, now it's gonna KO. Sorry, the reason that the reason I didn't think it would KO is because the Low Punny that I've been running on ladder, I don't run Fake Out. But yeah, Fake Out Return definitely obliterate this. But I guess he swapped out here fearing that it was Scarfed. Like I said, easy Slowbro switch. And then Slowbro can either Scald, Teleport, Future Sight, whatever it needs to do. Yeah, Ampharos comes in, or just easy switch. Like I mentioned in these in my first overlook of all the teams, Jayme just has a really strong core between Slowbro and Florges here. Like we just seen, Slowbro able to cover this Floatzel, and then Mega Ampharos comes in to deal with Slowbro. Florges just easily deals with this Mega Ampharos. Cotton Guard. So guys, first Jayme's team. Okay. Jayme does not have a Ghost type. He also does not have any great or any trick users that I know of. The only one that I could think is maybe Slowbro here. This is something that I did to somebody in the draft, okay? These are things that you gotta take notice of. He has no Ghost type. He has no trick user. Okay. He has Florges, and he has a Dragon type here. And he has another Dragon type. So it's not that great this match. Depending on the EV spread, it could work. Rest, Sleep Talk, Cotton Guard, Plasmic Toss. Think about it. No Ghost type. A lot of damage. Defense really high. Put your EVs into special defense and HP. Very scary. Very scary. 6 out of team doing that. So, I definitely think Siraj could have done that this match. Obviously, Kyurem probably would have come in and went for a Draco Meteor. Or Ice Beam or something like that. But definitely, it could have put up a lot of damage. And it definitely would have been able to deal with this. I don't know if I'd say definitely. It would have been able to do some damage to this Florges here. Yeah, Florges Calm Minding up right now for us face. Pretty easy Calm Mind. I think he just keeps. Oh, he got hit by a crit. He just keeps Calm Minding. Synthesis maybe. Ooh, this is getting dicey now. Gets the wish off. Okay, he needs to not get crit or high roll. He gets the wish off. Yeah, he can just keep Calm Minding here and go for game. Since this is gonna super effective against Moltres, neutral, or resisted, super effective. Yeah. Unless he's got some, yeah. Siraj making an attempt to deal with this Florges here, but he needs something physical. So he needed, like, you know, he needs Floatzel to come in, or like Grimmsnarl or something like that. I don't know how I felt about that. I probably just would have attacked. He needs to just get rid of this. Siraj trying his best to deal with this Florges, but this Florges is going to be able to just keep attacking here. The only thing that he had really was Floatzel and Grimmsnarl to deal a ton of damage to this. It's already got 2.5 times special defense here, which is going to be able to deal with his entire team now. Florges so thick, so bulky. Siraj doing a great job though, getting rid of the special attack boost. I think if he recognized that Grimmsnarl can probably do a ton of damage to it physically, and if he recognized that with Floatzel, with the liquidation, I think he would have been able to get rid of this Florges. Obviously, it would have been a really, really uphill battle, but Mega Afro is just so thick too. Oh my god, that is so bulky. Just explaining this to Lucas. Like, I don't think Ice Beam from Nidoking is gonna KO this thing. Like, you gotta be careful with this Moltres G, man. Like, this thing is no fucking joke. Jesus, man. Holy shit, it's so bulky. Alright, we need 20 flinches. Come on, Siraj, 20 flinches. Flinch and crits. Jayme doing a really good job though, recognizing that Florges is just able to wipe out this team after a couple setups. Like I said, Jayme's team is like one of my favorite teams, if not my favorite. I think his team can just deal with a lot of situations, especially with that Ditto in the back. And that Florges Slowbro combo is just fucking nasty, man. Nice. I really like Lycanroc as well. The Lycanroc is good too because that Accelerock is able to deal with the setup fire types, namely Volcarona, which is really going to help him in his coming weeks here. But yeah, a win that Jayme needed, because I think he's also just outside, or is he in it? Oh, he's in playoffs. Yeah, he's number 4. Okay, yeah. So Jayme, like, obviously not secure, but like helping secure his place in the playoffs right now. Getting a 6-0 win like that, really, really strong look for his team, and a really strong momentum booster for him going into these last few weeks of the draft. So yeah, guys, that was week 5. I'll be working on week 6 here shortly. I know I don't do too crazy in depth here, but the thing is like I'm working on this speed. Now, when I can watch matches live, it's different. I can talk about a lot of different things while we're waiting for turns, a lot of different ways the turns can go, maybe what they're thinking, things like that. So I'm hoping once we get into playoffs, I can actually do a lot of these live, and then you guys can watch, we can talk about it together, and then we can have a better analysis of the match, right? But yeah, on to week 6.